Hey guys, so today I'm here with a beginner friendly detailed neutral lasting makeup tutorial. Yeah, so you know we started off with a fresh face that of course is moisturized, and this is how we're looking. Very clean canvas, and I'm feeling myself, I can't even lie. Alright, so first things first, I love to start off with very nice moisturized lips, and sometimes I like to go in with a lip plumper. This is a specific brand I currently use. It's my Amazon storefront, and I'll link that down below for you. This is very straightforward, to the point. Any beginner can pretty much do this. It's very easy. So what I've been doing, yes, I've been using my Got To Be Ultra Glue Gel to have my brows have that extra oomph to it. Like, I like when my brows have that like straight laminated look well after my lamination has, you know, worn out. So I just pretty much get a spoolie and brushes upwards. That's the direction you want to focus in having it. I like to go over that. I use the tail of a comb and really have it flat and distribute the product evenly throughout my brows. Then I take a wet wipe to wipe away any excess that might be on my skin, because I don't want that to interrupt the makeup that I'm about to apply, right? So pretty easy, very straightforward, nothing much to it. I like to also dry this down before I move forward. So yes, today I made sure to get my fan charged up. I feel like having a fan is a very crucial part of any flawless makeup application. It's either that or you're gonna sit and let each step kind of dry down. So then I go in with my primer. This is my one size primer, and everything I'm using will be listed down below as usual. I like to just, you know, rub this in, just use my fingers. If you prefer to use a brush, then hey, go ahead and do that. And then I also dry this down. I feel like this just makes everything more flawless, and you know, it's just better with the coverage at the end of the day. This was actually the temperature, guys. It was pretty warm and it was nighttime. All right, yeah, so that's why I made sure to show you that, because I'm about to show you guys that this makeup is actually lasting, because I did go out to have a few drinks. This product is of course my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Fawn. I like to take a darker or a more natural tone shade, something closer to my skin tone for the front of the brows, and then I like to take something lighter for the mid to the end portion beneath my brows. And I'm taking the Makeup by Mario concealer today in the shade 200. And yes, you guys see that I'm listing the product on the screen. I want you guys to follow this as much as possible, because in the previous tutorials a few people were like, we need some beginner friendly stuff. And I was like, you know what, let me take it back to basics a little bit. I want to do a very flawless neutral glam today, and that's what I did. I kind of just scaled back and I decided not to do nothing too dramatic. So I'm showing you how to hold your brush when blending. I suggest holding it to the tail end to have a lighter, like, you know, motion. I feel like the closer you hold it towards the bristles, you're gonna have a harsher blend. You know, I feel like you have more of a seamless, kind of just flawless look to the blending when you have more of a light hand with holding the brush. Trust me, that this is something that I've tested and proven for the past couple of years, and it actually works. You see how flawless everything blends? Perfect. Great coverage, no streaks, no demarcation. It's perfect. So today I'm taking my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation in Cool Froid. All right, and I just took 2 pumps. I take 2 to 3 pumps most of the times when I'm applying my foundation. Sometimes I do get a little bit more tan. I know I'm gonna get more tan, so I'm going to definitely get a darker shade in this foundation. But for right now, it's doing what it needs to do, and it has great coverage. That's one thing I can tell you I've observed from this so far. They do claim for this product to wear down and, well, to be very lasting. And trust me, today you guys are gonna see as well that it is lasting, and it's definitely one that I do suggest. All right, it is also a very nice matte formula, and I feel like the combination of this foundation along with my one size is actually really great, so I'm not mad. I try my best to not saturate my under eye with too much foundation though whenever I'm applying, because we're gonna go in with concealer in that area, and I don't want to have just so much product you know, it's just too much product. So, you know, you want your face to feel lighter, breathable. Yeah, so the less product, the better. And I very much feel like my next makeup tutorial that I'm gonna show you guys is one without foundation. You know, my OG routine. So after I use my brush, I like to go over top of that sometimes with my sponge, and this just give more of an airbrush look to everything. Very, very flawless look. Now I'm gonna take back my Makeup by Mario concealer, and this is in the shade 200, and I'm using it for my highlights. So for me personally, I highlight below my eyes, and for right now, I just focus on the areas that I want to focus on based on how I want my makeup to appear and where I want to draw more light. So I just focus on the inner portion of my under eye there to the mid portion. Then I also highlight the bridge of my nose, over my cupid's bow, and my chin. I do not do it on my forehead because I feel like I will have enough product left over to spare for that area. I like to dry down the product just a tad, not too much, because I feel like when you do it this way, you get more coverage out of the concealer. Sometimes I do opt for a brush because it can be a little bit easier to maneuver, and you see how your product stretch a little bit more, while as you know, the sponge kind of soaks up some of the product. Sometimes it really depends on how I feel. That dictates which tool I use. I find that my sponge tends to be a little quicker with the blending, and that's the reason why I go in with it sometimes, and it does give a very flawless blend. Of course, it is damped with water. So this is how we're looking up and close. You see? So flawless, guys. No demarcation, no streaks, no nothing. All right, the next product is my One Size translucent powder, and this is what we're gonna go in to set the area with. I like to do tapping motions with my brush. You want to definitely tap away the excess because you don't want to apply too much product at once. That's the next thing. You want to always focus on building up your product and not putting too much in one area at a time. This again is really helping to lock in everything so that you don't get greasy quickly. And trust me, I love this setting powder. It is beautiful. I was actually showing you how you should actually tap the product in. You want to tap it in and never swipe. Okay, so I also do the same thing from over my lids because I like to have some of that concealer spread over my lids to serve as a good base for my eyeshadow. It really allows the color to shine through even more, and I use this powder to basically set all the highlighted portions. Now I go in with my Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder, and this is in deep. Now I've been using this mostly for the hollows of my face, so you find that I will use it for like my cheekbone area, which I like to use a very fluffy brush like the one I'm using because it gives me more of a diffused vibe, while if I use a contour brush it would have been a little too chiseled for my liking, you know. So you see how blown out it looks? That's what I love. And then I also tap some of that on my forehead. Now I take a fluffy brush, and this is what I'm gonna use for my crease. I want a blown out neutral looking crease, and so you notice I start on focusing on the inner portion because I like when beneath my brows at the front there is not too light. So I just kind of do patting motions, windshield wiper motions. It's a combination of different motions with the brush, to be honest. And I also like to do circular motions, but I'm going to show you that further down. I take the very same shade with the same brush and I drag that along the side of my nose to create a more blown out looking contour. I try not to use too much of a small brush anymore because I don't want a harsh line. I go in with some more of my translucent powder just to do like a reverse contouring below the bronzed area. Now for blush today, I'm going in with my Smashbox Halo palette, and this blush is on the softer side. It's really not too bright. It's if you want just a topes of color, not too much. And you guys know I love to focus my blush more on the upper on my upper cheek, and yeah, it's just so pretty. It really looks soft and pretty. Hear me talking about blush. my ABH eyeshadow palette, and I'm using the shadow palm, and you see I'm doing circular motions with my eyeshadow brush. So and now I'm focusing so I'm showing what to do and what not to do. So yes, circular motions is what you want to do, and I took it at the end because when I'm working with such a dark shade, I like it depends on how I'm feeling. So for this specific look, I wanted to focus the darker area on the outer V of the eye, and I just keep on doing circular motions. You don't have to keep on adding product because that is very pigmented. You add as much as you like based on your desired look. So to set everything, I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury setting spray, and then I go in with my fan to dry everything down. This really helps to accelerate the process, guys. All right, I promise you, if you follow these steps and you keep on practicing, you will get it. Please don't feel discouraged if you try one time and you don't get it right away. Trust me, you will get there. So I like to do the highlighting step after I dry down my first layer of setting spray. So I'm using the Makiage Golden Sand, and I actually really love this. I feel like it's great for a woman of color. It is on the golden side, and it just has that very nice luxurious look to the skin. And I also add a tip of that to my nose, and I also add a bit of that to the tip of my nose, and just a bit at the middle of the bridge, not all the way down. Whatever is left on the brush, I like to focus that on the temples of my forehead. I never go in for more product. I just use what is left over. Now I'm going in with lashes from Juvias Place. This is a Nubian lash, luxe, and this is their natural volume. You see how subtle this is? As I said, this is a very neutral glam. I think this is perfect for daytime. You could opt to not do the dark shadow I did at the end if you don't want the eyes to be that, deep, or you could, So for lips, I'm gonna take my Juvias Place Cocoa Latte lip liner from and I'm gonna take my time to just line the perimeter of my lips, and then I like to go in with a brush, just diffuse that so the line isn't too harsh. All I'm gonna do after this is I go back in with the same lip plumper and pretty much just go over my entire lips, and everything is gonna look so sexy and juicy and love it. Love it. Now I'm going in with my second layer of setting spray. I love to use the One Size Until Dawn for this specific step. This is just gonna lock everything in, and it really is just like a sealer, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable on the face. So that's what I love. It really just makes sure everything stays matte, and I love that. I take my fan, of course, to just finish this off, and that's pretty much it for my neutral lasting makeup tutorial today. I'm showing you the time that I finished with the makeup application, which was 9:27 or 9:26 rather. And yes, guys, I'm coming back to you 3:21 a.m. the next morning. Yes, the next morning. And look at me. I think this is a great routine for the summertime. The only thing that you can see here that's very visible is that my smile lines are shining through a bit, but that's always kind of been an issue. But yeah, I'm loving it. Look, I'm not looking oily at all. And I went out. I'm literally counting the hours. Yeah, 7 hours. Not bad, not bad. And if it looks like this at 7 hours, definitely will go even further, because as I said, I'm doing it for the first time on camera for you, but this is a routine I've actually been going with for my past couple makeup application, and it's been working well, especially now in the summertime. So it's definitely one that I recommend. You should definitely go ahead and give it a try. Check out my description box for all the products to use. I really hope you found this tutorial informative today. If you did, go ahead and give it a like and drop your other looks that you want to see me do down below. And let's do this. See you guys in my next makeup tutorial. Bye.